Hello and welcome back to my channel where I unbox slash review slash whatever you want to call it. I open up toys and you guys watch it. Today, let me start off by saying the last time I reviewed one of these, I got not a lot of hate, just a little bit of hate. But considering the size of my channel, it's a significant amount of hate for a guy with only 25 subscribers. Okay, how do I get into this? I got another MCFARLANE figure. Now, the last time I had a MCFARLANE figure, sorry, my bracelet's hitting the table. The last time I had a MCFARLANE figure, it was the Owlman. And if you saw that review, you saw things didn't quite go well with that figure. The hand fell off, the other hand was about to fall off, the leg fell off, and overall I was disappointed, I guess. What else could you describe when the figure you paid money for just completely crumbles in your hands? I was accused of faking the video for views, which I did get a lot of views, but that's not... I have 25 subscribers. Why would I fake anything at this point in my YouTubing career? I was accused of being too rough with a figure, which... These are toys made for children. If me bending a leg upwards causes the leg to come off, a child's going to break it. These are action figures. I'm not too rough with my toys. If I break something, it's not because I was too rough with it. That's ridiculous. Come on, guys. Just overall, I assume MCFARLANE fans were not happy with me. And to be clear, I'm a MCFARLANE fan. I mentioned in the past I stopped buying MCFARLANE figures because I'm not the happiest with the product I've been receiving lately. That doesn't mean I don't like MCFARLANE. I'll show you my collection. I'll edit it in the video. But I have tons of MCFARLANE figures, and I've been a fan of him for years. See? Proof. I like MCFARLANE figures. I mean... well, that figure's trash, and that figure's trash, but that one's pretty good, and that one's pretty good too. And then if you go over here, you have those two. Those are great. Well, that one's okay. And then if you go over here, you have the rest of my collection, and well, that one's pretty trash, and that one's really, really trash. That one back there is pretty trash, but that one's pretty good. And then, those ones are pretty good. He's pretty cool. That one's my favorite. And then he's pretty cool. And she's okay. And those two are fine. And then Batgirl's pretty okay. And this is my Marvel collection, but if you go down here, I have more. And that figure's kind of trash. That one's pretty cool. And then that one's pretty cool. And those three are okay. And I like MCFARLANE. Don't bully me. I'm just not a big fan of the head sculpts and the articulation. That's okay. We don't all have to be a big fan of MCFARLANE. Let's just get that out of the way. It's okay. We can all like different things. Gotcha. Oh, another person said this is just standard quality control issues that even happens with Marvel Legends and wrestling figures. Well, okay, quality control, like paint being mispainted, or like maybe you get sent the wrong hand for an accessory. Sure. The arm falling off because it wasn't glued, that's a little bit more extreme. I wouldn't say that's standard across all action figures. I would say that's more of a unique case. And I'm not saying MCFARLANE does it every time. I'm not saying every MCFARLANE figure has those issues. That's just an issue I ran across with that specific figure. So, with that being said, I have another MCFARLANE figure in my possession today. I still like the guy. See, I still buy his figures. I still support him. Except this time I didn't because I bought this from a thrift store. But still, he just announced the Dark Knight series. I'm going to get every single one of those figures because they look fantastic. But if I have an issue with them, I'm going to call them out. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to fake anything just because I like something or dislike something. If I dislike a Marvel Legends, I'll comment on it. If I dislike a WWE Elite, I'll comment on it. And if I like a McFarlane toy, I'll comment on it. Like, these are my raw opinions of stuff I get as I get them. So if you have an issue with that, I'm sorry. With that being said, let's get into this guy because I am so excited for this figure. I love Kyle Rayner. He's my favorite Green Lantern. I know a lot of people's favorite Green Lantern is obviously Hal, and then it goes Hal, John Stewart, and Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner's my favorite. I always like the idea of an artist being a Green Lantern, you know, the creativity, the ingenuity, you know, I always liked that idea. So he's always been my favorite. I did see a John Stewart there. He came with the Build-A-Figure piece for something Frost Giant, whatever. I didn't want to have another Build-A-Figure piece, and I prefer Kyle Rayner, so I went with Kyle Rayner instead of John Stewart. If he's still there when I go back, I will be getting John Stewart, because I also love John Stewart. I mean, Justice League, the animated show, like, he was the guy, so I still have love for him. This is just my favorite guy. Let's go ahead and go over the box, go over the figures, starting with the box. This is a gold label, which is awesome. I didn't know that. When I picked it up, I just saw the price tag. I wasn't looking at anything else. Of course, if you look at the price, $349, check your local thrift stores because you can get amazing deals. Yes, this is a gold label, which means it's a little bit fancier, a little bit cooler. It is McFarlane Multiverse, Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner. I do love the McFarlane boxes. They look very, very cool. On the side, you have DC Multiverse, Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner. Nice little window to see. Not much, but there's a window. On the back, you have some beautiful art of Kyle Rayner in this costume. Looks great. On the side, you have Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner, changing the guard. What I love about these boxes is they kind of resemble the comic books from Rebirth, I believe. I like the way those look. I think they look very, very cool. And that brings us back to the front, so I guess we can transition to the figure itself with a transition. I'm just stumbling over my words today. And this is pretty much all you get with the figures, starting with this sword is a good place to start. I like the sword. I do think because it came with the armor chest piece, a shield would have been cool too. Something that like attaches to the hand that kind of glows off the ring finger, you know, a nice little shield that looks cool. I think that would have completed the look with the like the samurai armor and the samurai sword. I guess this is a samurai sword, but still, it's still a cool sword. It's nice, green, translucent. You can see through it. Looks like a Green Lantern thing. I was just thinking something that attaches to the ring finger to make it look like it's coming out of his, you know how the Green Lantern powers work. So that's pretty cool. There's not much to look at there. Otherwise, I would have gone more in depth with it. You get this nice green. This is the coolest part. The green chest piece armor. You have the nice logo up here. It looks very cool. You can slide this on over the head, and it looks pretty good. I believe if you lift the arms, it might make it look a little goofy. Ugh. Ew. Ew. What's going on with his face? Ew. Do you see that? Oh. Are we going to have another case of a wonky figure? That hair's not on right. And it makes his face look disgusting. Ew. Well, this side's a little bit better. It's still... Could you push it in a little? Oop. Push it in. I didn't fake this, just so you guys know. I didn't, like, open the figure, melt the hair off, and then start the video. Like, that's so unbelievable that somebody thought I faked that video. Okay, it looks like the hair just slid back a bit. I believe I could apply some heat to this and take it off and then reapply it in the correct position. This isn't the worst thing. At least this is fixable. The hand was fixable too from the Owlman. That was fixable. It's just annoying. If you're thinking about like a kid who bought the figure and the arm falls off, they're not going to know how to fix that. It's just a broken toy to them. With me, I knew how to fix it. I did apply glue and it fixed itself. With this, I know how to fix this. I think I can I'm pretty sure I could fix that. This is a little bit less egregious because a kid won't care about that, but still, that's my further point. That's my main point is like, yes, it's not a big deal. I can fix it, but a kid can't, and these are meant for kids, so you guys have to remember that. And then it comes with the stand. The stands are okay. You guys know my opinions on the stands. They're good for a little while, but these figures are so top-heavy that they just kind of eventually tilt forward. But these do have the nice new ankle joints, so that might be less of an issue with these figures. I don't actually know. And then a nice little trading card for Green Lantern. Nice little bio in the back. Looks very cool. This is basically everything that would have been on the back of the box, except the back of the box was empty. It's cool. I like the trading cards. I used to collect them, but then I got too many, and now I don't care too much about them. So, let's go over the figure itself. We already saw the face, of course. It's a little wonky. I do have a Jason Todd Red Hood without the mask, that I believe if I could peel off this mask, I could glue it onto that head. And I think it would look cool, but then again, that's like indented into the skin, so I don't think that would work. That was an idea. I have that figure. I don't like that figure because it's a little wonky. So if I could do a head swap, maybe it would work without the mask. He just looks a little, especially from this angle, he looks a little wonky. This one's not as bad. It just makes his head look gross, to be honest. You can kind of squeeze it, but then that squeezes the front forward. He has big-ass lips, though. Look at those luscious lippers, you know. Got a nice 5 o'clock shadow, or that's just paint. No, that's a 5 o'clock shadow, yeah. I love the texture and the look of his costume. McFarlane is the king of textures on a figure. Feels great to hold. It looks great. Nice details. Love the way it looks. You know, if he was like doing shot put, this is what it would look like. Oh man, I love that logo, and I love the black and white and green. It works so beautifully with this figure. You have the nice gauntlets. The elbow pads are not attached. I wish they were. I think it would help to hide the ugly elbows if these elbow pads were attached here. I know they're probably not in the comics, but still, it would help to make things look better. You have these nice knee pads, nice, beautiful. Oh, that's gross too. Okay. That's weird looking. What's going on there? I can't quite tell. It looks like it's like pushed in. Could you lift that out? Is it just like turned? That's like solid. How's this knee? Oh, you know what? I think I see what happened. Yeah, those are the same knees. They just used the right knee on this side, so it's turned in. Yeah, you can totally tell. Ugh. I'm not trying to make McFarlane look bad. I like McFarlane figures, but this stuff happens every time I buy a McFarlane figure. You also have the diaper, but oh goddamn, he's thick. They really gave him a big old wedgie with that. I don't like the diaper, but it's whatever. It's a solution to an issue that I don't really think was that big of a deal, but you know, it works. But yeah, I'm not trying to like harp on McFarlane figures, but every time I do a review, there's always something, you know, with that and that. It's not as bad as the last one. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to clickbait the title this time. I'm not going to be like, see, McFarlane figures are still bad. They're not. I did clickbait the title of the last one. It wasn't that big of a deal, but everyone got very upset. Well, it was like 12 people. To be fair, but 12 people, when I normally get 0 comments, that's a lot to me. And 400 views. Like, thanks for watching that one, guys. Sorry it upset you so much. Anyways, I do like the look of the figure. There are the defects on the head and the knee. I wish I could fix that, but this one's a little less fixable. I can't just there's no swapping that. But I think with this, it kind of hides it. It's wanting to focus on the card for some reason. Yeah, the knee pad kind of hides it, so if he's just standing straight up, no big deal. Let's go over articulation real quick. Looking at the head's a little loose. It's kind of a little bit wobbly, but that's okay. It can look up to about right there, down, fairly good. That's actually spectacular. If you're looking at him from the front, he looks great. Maybe the hair is a little bit too low, but I don't know. It looks great from the front. It's just from the side it looks off. Oh, is it stuck? Oh, the head just came off. Okay. It's not broken. Don't worry. It just, it got stuck and it came off. I managed to wedge it in a way. It keeps doing that. If I go down too low, it like catches when I'm oh, I see. It's catching right there. The scalp or the skull is catching like that. Okay, well, no biggie. So yeah, it can go up and down, wiggle all the way around, swivel, go all the way around like so. Nice, decent head sculpt. Well, as far as articulation goes, arms can go up to about right there. Actually, yeah, about right there. Butterfly joints, the weaker kind. The kind that are just like, okay. The McFarlane butterfly joints, which means it can go back to about right there. Forward about right there. That's about it. I guess that's okay. I don't mind that. Sometimes they go too far and then once it gets loose, then you have the arms just like swinging back and it looks disgusting. I have a couple Ultimate Editions, WWE Ultimate Editions to do that. They go too far back and then their arms are just like they're like that on the figure. It looks rough. But what I do like about these is they can go up and down too, not just left and right. So that's a pretty decent feature. I'd like to see that implemented in Ultimate Editions maybe in the future. But I still want to keep the range of the butterfly joints that they have currently. So if that can't happen, I'd rather just keep what we have. Double jointed, not pinless. They can go up to about right there. Not the worst looking elbows we've seen on a McFarlane figure. I think that's fairly decent. You do have the ugly awkwardness right there, but not awful. Not awful. You have the McFarlane wrists that I don't love. Can go up and down, and then if you have it in a position, you can rotate it. Now that can go in and out, etc., etc., and that can rotate in both there, and I believe it can in the wrist, but I'm not quite sure. Ignoring that, going back to the body, you can go back like so, go forward like forward just a little bit, and then if you add the legs into it, a little less than 90. Well, if you force it, you can. The diaper it's a thicker plastic, so it's kind of hard to push it all the way up, but if you keep pushing it, about 90, which means the legs can go up to about right there. Fairly decent. He can do the splits like so. There is no swivel here at the thighs. See, if you have the legs bent too much and then you bring it down, the diaper. I don't love it, man. What can I say? No swivel here at the thigh. That's okay. I prefer it that way, mostly. Depending on the figure, I suppose. Double jointed knees can go up to about... yeah, he can kick his own ass if you force it. The new ankles on the McFarlane figures, the improved ankles, he can go down like so, go up like so, and then of course rotate and do the same thing in different directions because, yeah, it's a decent ankle. I do like this ankle quite a bit. And then a toe hinge like that can only go like that. I don't love the toe hinges, but, you know, not everything's for me. They're for other people too. So yes, this is the most recent McFarlane figure after my last one. This one, I say, went a little bit better than that last figure. What can I say? I need to emphasize this, apparently. I don't hate McFarlane. I never have. I've loved McFarlane. I just don't love the face sculpts, obviously, and I don't love the articulation. So when it comes to saving money, that's the one I usually drop. So, but then you find them in thrift stores and you find them for cheap and you can still have a good time, just like I am having. I do like this figure. I think this is a great figure, minus the defects, which are easily ignorable, I think. I wouldn't say these are just standard quality control issues. Like, the knee, that's a little less forgivable than the hair. The hair I get, sometimes stuff happens, but with the knee, that's a little less than your standard, oops, I painted the wrong thing, or oops, some splotches happened here, or oops, that's a little bit more egregious, I'd say. But as far as the rest of the figure goes, perfect. I love this figure. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. I love the way it moves. This is definitely an improvement over what I've recently had. So yes, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please don't be too mean to me. Like, it's just a toy review. We don't have to get that serious about it. Yeah, so leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. All the things YouTubers ask you to do, just do it for me as well. And I will be back with another video, hopefully very, very soon. Bye.